everyone, and welcome to the Geek Fam. I'm today's moderator, Corey McGarvey, and we have a great show for you today. We have some regular people showing up again. Two of our producers, the founder of the Geek Fam, Josh Mallory, and we also have one of the brainchild members of the group, Reese Perry. Josh, welcome back, my friend.
What up, what up?
All right, Reese, say a few words, my friend.
Hello, I'm back. Technical difficulties, big part.
All right, glad to have you back. So, next up for our panel today is our good friend Black Flash. Welcome back, Black Flash.
Hi.
How's it going, Black Flash?
Oh, well, I'm missing on the sex scene, but, whatever. Right.
Well, since James does not know why you're called Black Flash, why don't you tell him?
Because I don't know the name of the Black Flash, of the actual Black Flash, the new Black Flash.
He's referring to Kid Flash, the Black Wally West.
Oh.
So he gets ribbed on it every time he comes on. So we are currently waiting on our good friend Justin Berlin to join in. But up next is James Cordova. James, it's your first time on the show. Welcome. So what brought you into the geek lifestyle?
Glad to be here.
All right, what brought you into the geek lifestyle?
My uncle did when I was younger. He got me my first comic was the Superman Dies.
Oh, sweet.
He got me that comic, and he got me the whole funeral set and everything like that. From there, it was history. I mean, I just started every little garage sale I would go to or something. I would get comics, and well, for movies, I've always been a big movie buff. So, but yeah, I'm a big DC fan and Marvel fan. So,
all right. Well,
like I said earlier, Lautner in the TV show version was pretty spot on. I really like that version. Like you said, Will Smith is Will Smith, but I like him as an actor, so I really didn't mind. What else could I have said? Them fighting the magical beams, yeah, that was a little far-fetched because I don't think they could have handled that type of power to fight against. But, I mean, overall, like I said, it was good. It was enjoyable. I kind of tried to look at it like an animated movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, had Enchantress not gone to be the villain and stayed with the squad, then I could have seen them taking on a magical being.
Yeah.
Then I could see it. All right.
Yeah, okay.
So next up, Mr. Black Flash, you're up. What's your thoughts on comparing the comic to the movie?
Well, to be honest, I've never really read Suicide Squad comics. I'm familiar with all of the characters in it, but not within the context of Suicide Squad. More so them being villains in other people's stuff. So
Okay. That's understandable. So, yeah, myself, I've only read a couple of them. I started reading the comics about a month before the movie came out. Just that way I had a little bit of a backstory on how the squad was created and everything, just so I could have something for comparison. Comparing the movie to the comics, no comparison really should be done, in my opinion. Thor, what's your thoughts on it?
I personally only read a handful of damn Suicide Squad comics, but it could have been more like the comics, in my opinion. Like you say, the villain. I really just wasn't feeling who they had as the villain. It kind of threw me for a loop, and sort of Justice League versus Teen Titans. It's like if you gonna face something supernatural, you gotta have supernatural on your side to battle supernatural, and they didn't, and it just kind of had me scratching my head, how these pretty much normal type people is gonna battle this person that was doing supernatural stuff at them. But for the most part, like I say, it was enjoyable or whatever. But I wish they kind of would have just went a different route with that person that they chose to be the villain in the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
I thought it was enjoyable too. It it's weird though because I tried not to let all of the hype and everything towards it get to me, but I couldn't help it. I mean, the way they marketed this movie, the way they pushed it, you know, you're dealing with the worst of the worst, and this is going to be something unique to the comic book movie genre. It's going to kind of change things, and it wasn't. This to me was not in yeah. If it was rated R, it would have been able to go into some territory that would have made it unique. But as it stands now, it's nothing that I haven't seen before, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you pushed it the way you pushed it, and it's not original. It's not. I felt like Guardians of the Galaxy did a lot of the stuff they did and it better. I did, and that's because they wanted to be more that way. But if you would have made it rated R, and you would have toned down, like you guys have been saying, toned down the villain, made the villain a little less spectacular, I think it would have been unique. I think it would have been something different.
Okay, Justin, you have anything to add here?
I think that was James.
What were you saying, Josh?
I was just saying, like James said, I think they should have had Deathstroke as the villain. Like it would have been a lot better than me personally if they would have thrown Deathstroke in there.
Exactly.
Well, I think they should have had Joker as the villain. I mean, people are saying that they did, that's not a good idea because he would have taken away from the squad. But we've seen movies where the villain has been the highlight of the movie. It's not a bad thing for the villain to be the highlight of the movie. It's not. And I think Joker should have been the villain.
The Joker, the Riddler, they could have taken any number of DC villains and put them in there. The one member of the squad that I think really did not bring anything to the table, though, was Captain Boomerang.
I definitely agree with that.
Who was the guy that got killed first?
Slip. He got his head blown off real quick.
Yeah, that guy. That was just, Oh yeah, Slipknot. That's what it was.
Always character.
Yeah,
I think we all saw that coming, though, didn't we? I mean.
Yeah, because you can see him in any
I knew
nothing.
One of them had to go real quick. I just didn't know who it was gonna be.
Can I just say too, and I feel bad because I'm like in the minority clearly. I did not like Harley Quinn at all in this movie. Outside of her scenes with Joker, I didn't like.
Harley, I will say this: Harley was just there for most of the movie. Her final move, picking up Katana's sword. Okay, she finally did something worthwhile. The rest of the time, she was just there.
That's bull. That's bull, though, man. And we're talking about. I thought you guys said Boomerang was probably the most irrelevant. I won't argue with that, but really, I thought Katana was. And one of the biggest moments, you give that to Harley and not fucking Katana. Oh my God, it made me mad. I knew she was going to get the short end of the stick in this movie. I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that because. I mean, come on, she's the one that should have done it. She had the sword the whole time, and then all of a sudden, Harley's the one that does it. Like, that was kind of lame.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I went to see it with a couple of friends, one of which was a female, and I didn't expect this. When we got out, I asked her, I'm like, okay, well, what did you think about Harley and this and that? Because I know she was looking forward to it. She said something great. She said, Wonder Woman can't get here soon enough. Because if Harley is right now the representation of superhero heroines or whatever like that, we're in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, like one of the parts I really disliked
was-
was where
that's what I was
Joker was
saying,
kind of
that
giving
post-
her to Comp.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that, where he's giving her to Carmen, like to Common, and he's like, "Nah, that's your girl." Like that was like to me, that was real off. Like I don't know, I just didn't like that scene. I think it could have done without it.
yeah.
Well, I like
For
their
me,
scenes together,
yeah.
but the whole romance angle that they tried to really kind of push with those two, a mutual romance. No,
Yeah, like it wasn't
uh,
working for me. Not that. I don't know.
Yeah,
And like for
I
me
don't
in
know
the
about
final
that
act,
either. Okay, so
yeah,
going off the screenshot that we've got on the screen right now, we've got Harley and Deadshot kind of blowing up, primarily due to the actors playing Margaret Robbie and Will Smith. We've talked about them a little bit already. We mentioned the fact that the Deadshot that was on the TV show was awesome. Will Smith, I don't think Will Smith did it as well of justice as the
Yeah.
TV show actor did, but
Yep.
he didn't have nearly as much time to build upon the character to really pull people into Deadshot, in my opinion. So I don't blame Will Smith at all. I think it was more just the fact that he was part of another movie with an ensemble cast. It was hard for him to really show the torment that Deadshot really has. Anybody else agree with that?
No, I think in this movie, yeah, in this movie for me, Deadshot was like a hero or something because he wasn't typically a villain because he didn't portray like a villain, like as a villain. So
Yeah,
I think
was
he
more
was
like
more like a hero for me.
yeah, he was more
He's
like
more like a
Deadpool,
superhero for me.
an anti-hero. Wasn't really a
Yeah,
villain.
yeah.
all of them came off as that to me. I mean, except for Harley, I would have liked. That's why the rated R thing comes into play, because I would have liked for them to have more scenes where they were actually looking like villains, like real, like they're billed as the worst of the worst. But I kind of feel like there are worse people out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got. Well, what I would like to see is them have a movie where it's Deadshot versus Deathstroke, Suicide Squad
That would have
versus
been sick.
Deathstroke or something.
I would
be
have
a
liked
good
that.
movie.
I'd be shocked if Deathstroke is not in Suicide Squad 2. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, they took him off. They took him off the TV show specifically because they said they're going to have him in. You know, they said that they have another project for that character. Well, where is he? If it's 3 years down the road, why couldn't we keep him on the TV show for a couple more years? You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it would have worked a lot better with the whole angle of those Suicide Squad guys, because they're not really like powered super beings or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yup.
And we've kind of seen how
Yeah,
that played out on Arrow, where you've got Oliver Queen trying to take on Damien Dark, who's a supernatural person. It didn't work that great. He had to constantly bring in other characters to help him fight him.
Yeah.
Yup.
I think in this movie, I think they should have like taken a human villain rather than like a super being or something, because like in the comics, it's like they go to Russia or something for a mission or something. I don't know, but yeah, it would have worked much better than like this angle. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
Very true. Very true.
yeah.
Okay. So, moving on. Jared Leto as the Joker. Everybody's thoughts.
I liked him.
He was
I
great.
liked him.
Yeah, he was
I
great.
liked him, but again, this goes to the hype. This goes to the hype of it. I don't think he reached the heights of the hype that was put onto him. It wasn't a transcendent performance. It was good, and I could see it being better if he's like featured as a villain in another movie. But for what we got right here, there was nothing unique about this Joker except for his look. I'm being honest. I feel like I've seen
There was
similar villains in other movies. I really do.
Yeah.
the way
There
I
was
saw
also
this
also the
Joker,
things like yeah
oh, the way I
yeah
saw
like
Jared
they
Leto
cut all
playing this Joker,
yeah
it seemed like he was trying to combine both Heath Ledger's total psychotic Joker with Jack Nicholson's gangster Joker. So he was kind of hitting the middle road, which made it unique,
yeah
but also made us feel like we'd
yeah
seen it before. So it was kind of
yeah.
different,
But
but at the same
there's
time, it's
also
still good.
these cut scenes of Joker. Like yeah, they cut a lot of scenes of Joker, right, in the movie.
Yep.
So I think it was less from his side, but I don't know. He was good. He was good.
Yeah. Well, one thing
Yeah,
I am
like I said,
glad.
I think it
Yeah.
would have been better if he was held off as a surprise. Like if they didn't show nothing of him in the trailer,
Yes,
we would have. I think
yes.
it would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think the hype kind of made the few scenes that we had with him a major letdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They showed what they did with BVS. Like they showed all his parts practically to me. You
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
it
And
kind of that's what killed
like
BVS for me. Like a lot of stuff would have been better if I had not known about it and then I just saw it on screen. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Joker would have been the villain of the Joker should have been the villain of this movie, definitely. Like they posed him as a villain in the trailers, but like he was completely a side character in this movie, and that was like a disappointment for me.
But to be fair to WB, they probably had to do this. Suicide Squad was a reach anyway, and you really kind of needed to draw people in there. It wasn't gonna. I don't think it was gonna be
Yeah,
enough
they
to
did it
show.
to draw people.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
Because
that's
they
gonna
did
hurt
something
you
to
now.
pull people in.
Yep. Now, one thing we haven't really mentioned yet is Amanda Waller in the movie. The actress who played Amanda Waller played her perfectly, made her ruthless, scary, and a bitch.
Yep.
She did a damn
Yeah,
good
she
job as
played
Waller.
that. She played that to a T.
We'll be talking
She
about
was
her
she was
like we
more
talk
scary than
about.
the Enchantress, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking about her like we talk about RDJ being Tony Stark and
Oh yeah.
Chris Evans as Cap. I mean, she was just an absolute perfect casting, perfect in every way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
But
still
the Amanda
more.
Waller in Arrow is cool, right?
The one that was in Arrow, she
The
she
Amanda
played the
Waller
role
in
pretty
Arrow.
damn good. But this lady blew her out of the water in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, she was
played
good, man.
it
She
as
was
though
good.
she was just gonna go off. Like my favorite scene with Waller was when she just all of a sudden just goes cold hearted and shoots down all the FBI agents that were inside the command center.
Oh yeah.
What the
Yeah,
They weren't.
that caught me off guard. That caught me off guard. I was like, oh
I'm
shit.
sitting there watching it and I'm like, wait,
But
what the fuck just happened?
But see, that's how she is in the comics.
The-
That she crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's crazy
yeah,
in virtually
but the
every other
main
role that I've ever
the
seen.
main
Waller.
problem in that scene, the main problem in that scene is like if they don't have the clearance, then how did they hire them, the FBI, like the FBI
Well, they might
agents?
not have
Like
had
it was the main
clearance.
problem for me, and it was like a thinker.
Well, there might have been other things
Yeah.
that she was referring to that they don't have clearance to that Rick Flag and the squad actually had clearance to. They might not have had clearance to know about the Suicide Squad. She could have been telling these guys the whole time that it was a special ops team coming to get them, not the Suicide Squad. Because Task Force X was deemed,
Okay.
ultra classified. So we're gonna move along here. Justin, I know you had pointed out something earlier that you wanted to talk about. You ready to talk it?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right.
Yeah, I found it really interesting. This is pretty cool. That let's see, here it is. On Collider, it was reported that the Suicide Squad destroyed the opening record for August, biggest opening weekend ever for August, with $135 million. It beat Guardians of the Galaxy for that record. And not only that, it even became the biggest Smith movie opening weekend. Bigger, and that's including Independence Day and Men in Black and Bad Boys and all that. Biggest opening weekend for a Will Smith movie. That's insane. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but look at the drop it already been had between Friday and Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it had a big opening weekend,
Yup.
but it's dropped since then.
Yeah, and they didn't have much competition either. There wasn't. I mean, Star Trek. Was it Star Trek Beyond was a good competition, but it's been out already for a bit.
3 weeks in.
Their top competition was 9 Lives.
Yeah, there wasn't.
9 Lives.
The only other that came out was
Oh man.
Exactly. There wasn't a lot of competition this particular weekend, but and there's not really anything else coming out this month that's even going to get close to it. But the fact that it's the number one overall in August ever is kind of cool. At the same time, it's like, well, it's August. It's not usually a big blockbuster movie month.
But see that 40% drop already is a scary thing to look at though. If it's still the first weekend and it already dropped so dramatically, I hate to see what it'll look like going into next weekend. You know what I'm saying?
And if it doesn't release in China like they're saying, China is a huge market. It's a big market. If it doesn't release in China, that's a huge chunk of change right there you're missing out on. I think we knew that this movie was going to make a lot of money. This movie was going to make a lot
Why
of
is
money.
China not going to show it though?
Huh?
Why is China not going to show it? Like, what's their dislike with it or what?
I don't know because I couldn't. I pulled the article up, but it wouldn't load. It's from comic book movies, and those things never load up for me on my phone, so I couldn't really read it. But China has all types of issues. They pull issues out of their ass for any little thing.
One of the things is that I know they pointed out. I didn't read that full article, but I read another one about it. But China doesn't like the idea of villains being portrayed as heroes. Any kind of dissident to the government they kind of shy away from releasing any movies like that. So
I see.
Yeah.
They're totalitarian states,
so
Deadpool?
That's strange though, because like a lot of their animes are really against government, stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
The anime is from Japan, but
But they're making that, so it's all good.
True. Yep.
True.
And there's subliminal messages in those animes too. When it's released in China, because it's not illegal for subliminal messaging in China still. But when they send it outside of China, they have to remove those.
Yeah. So what was the reason Deadpool not being like screened in China?
Yeah. And we haven't discussed this yet, but rumor has it there's a lot of scenes that were deleted that I'm praying show up on the Blu-ray. This is one of the few movies that I actually will be pulling out for my Blu-ray collection. I do most of my new purchases on digital only due to all of my kids, but this is one of the few that I will buy. So let's see.
Yeah, I'll buy the movie. I'll definitely add it to my collection.
Yeah, there's a rumored list out there of 22 different deleted scenes.
I can't see them putting more than, to be honest, if they're not going to do a ultimate edition, I can't see them pulling more than several of those deleted scenes out, and probably two of them will involve the Joker or something like that. I don't think they're going to give us all that. And to be perfectly honest with you, maybe this is the skeptic in me. I'm not sure I'm not going to believe. I'm not sure I believe that. I'm not sure I believe. Oh, we've got a billion scenes or whatever that we didn't do. I'm not going to believe that because that sounds kind of like a damn excuse to me. It does.
Yeah. And for me, I think WB is.
It seems to be the MO with DC lately. Oh yeah, we cut a lot of stuff out, so that's why that didn't work. Come on, man.
Like WB is putting too many things, like they're involving, like getting involved all too much in like this creative process of DC, and so like one of the main reasons why DC is kind of failing now, but not failing to be. eh, Yeah, that's all.
You're on the fence. You're on the fence about him. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's because DC's playing
Can
catch
I
up.
say something real fast? Then
Shoot.
I got a question for the group about the movie.
Go ahead.
If they had not cut as many scenes, and if there had been more Joker or scenes with Jared Leto as the Joker, would that have made the movie better or worse? Do you think?
Honestly, without actually seeing them, I can't give you an opinion on that, Justin. Did everybody else hear Justin's question?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
open to the
Yeah.
floor.
I think it would have been the same for me, honestly, because bottom line, if Joker isn't the villain in this movie, a couple more scenes of him not being the villain wouldn't have done much for me. And I don't know what other deleted
Yeah.
scenes would have been there for me to be like, oh, this is not just an okay movie, it's a great movie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it really would have changed anything for me.
Yeah, I can agree with that because he was basically just a cameo, and they should have never showed him on the commercials or the previews or anything like that. But like, it was just to draw the crowd, I guess, the general audience.
I'm reading the list.
see, my thing is this. I recently just watched the documentary of Superman Lives thing.
Great documentary.
I think DC should just leave WB as a whole because it
Hold
seems
on,
like
Justin.
ever since
Justin's still going.
Batman and Robin, the company WB has been, skeptical and on the fence to give any of their superhero movies a chance. You know what I'm saying? And 10, 15 years later, they still doing the same thing they was doing all the way back in 1998, 1997. And just like Christopher Nolan said, they tried so many times to get him to try to, rewrite this and take this out and, come in and try to, well, we don't think this will work. And he told them, listen, if y'all don't leave me alone, I'm leaving. And that's how he made the movies that he wanted to make. But I think DC just needs to leave Warner Brothers alone and do their thing separately because Warner Brothers is what messing up their movies as a whole.
Yeah, they can't afford to do that. I mean, that would be ideal. But the only reason Marvel is able to do what they do is because they're in league with Disney, and Disney and Marvel is really catering to Disney's what Disney wants. Now, the good thing about that is Disney knows what the hell they want, and they have a template that's worked for years upon years upon years. That's why that union is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But DC, they don't have they can't go out and have their own studio right now. They can't do that. They've got to be in league with somebody.
Yeah, WB seems they just WB they tripping, man.
WB's
Like,
great
they
at
just need
the
to sit
animated
down
movies.
and just
The WB
Yeah,
is great
but
with the animated movies.
live
But when
action. They seem like they worried too much.
Yep, they're not letting the directors have that free reign, and that's one thing that
Yeah,
Marvel's
like
been
let
good
them do
at.
what y'all hired them to do.
All right, Justin.
Yeah, well,
you-
hopefully with Job
Man,
Johns
let-
and
let
hold
them
on, everybody.
decide, do the job, do the job.
Yep. Hold on, everybody. Justin had a couple more things he wanted to say here. Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying. I mean, I was reading the list of completed scenes, and there's like 22. I don't need to see all of them, but like I remember all the trailers. Diablo, the lit match, with Hulk holding the lit match in his cell. I thought that was a cool little that was a cool little scene. I like the I guess the theatricality or cinematography of that. I thought that was cool. Holding the lit match and blowing it out. There was the Joker interrogating Captain Greg, Ike Barinholtz, the comedian. Can't Wait to Show You Money Toys. That was cool. I wish they had included that.
All right.
I mean, there's a bunch of scenes about Joker and Harley, all kinds of interactions, all kinds of shootout. It would have been nice if they had included a bunch of more Harley and Joker scenes, because I really did like Joker, and I really did like Harley. There wasn't even an extended Batmobile chase. We didn't even get it. That was not a Batmobile chase in the movie. That was Batmobile shows up and they go off into the water, and that was about it. It would have been nice to have a short car chase.
But if it would have kept all those Harley Quinn Joker scenes, it would have changed the whole dynamic of the movie. It would have been the Harley Quinn Joker movie with Suicide Squad being a backdrop, is what it would have felt like after reading through that list. It would have been primarily the Harley Quinn Joker show. And the movie was supposed to be Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and I think it would have. I mean, it would have been nice to see. Like I said, probably next to Amanda Waller, the Joker and Harley scenes were probably my favorite parts of the movie. But getting more of those scenes wouldn't have made the movie better for me. It just would have been nice to see. It just would have been some more nice scenes to see. But it wouldn't have changed my opinion on the movie. It wouldn't have done nothing to change some of the problems that I had with the movie. Put it like that.
Well, moving on, we've probably gone through most of our time today on the Suicide Squad, but we've got a couple more topics to talk about today. Next up, the future of gaming. So, what do you guys think gaming's going to do in the next couple of years? I know the Xbox One S just came out, and they're talking about doing one called Scorpion already. So, what's everybody think?
I think virtual reality is going to take over.
In case you guys aren't aware, I work in inventory at Best Buy, and we just got those consoles. They do look good. We're already selling the white controllers. They are very nice looking. I remember one of my colleagues saying how small and how light they are. It's just how technology is going. Smaller, lighter, more compact, and better, faster moving. So it sounds interesting. I'm curious about Scorpio.
All right.
I think I'm a little scared, to be honest with you. With the frequency at which they're coming out with all of this stuff, it's kind of overwhelming. I mean, look at what's going on with Nintendo. Why in the world would you release that new system that they're coming out with or whatever? I can't get it out. Right before or right after the new Zelda.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that system is about to be obsolete or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're already pushing a new system.
What?
Huh? The new. Have you heard about the new system for Nintendo?
Not on the new console. I'm saying they not releasing the new Zelda on the new system.
Not that I've heard of. They're going forward with it on this system, but they've been pushing. They're pushing these projects that they're doing right now, but at the same time, they're not letting anyone know about the new system that's coming out.
Yeah.
So when people go to get these new games and everything like that, by the time the new Zelda comes out, the new system will be out, and it's not on the new system, and not right now at least. That doesn't make sense to me.
That's retarded.
Yeah, that's not making any sense. But one thing to kind of mention here, we did talk about it in a previous episode, is Nintendo, and also I heard Sega, they're bringing out miniature versions of the old console with games from the old consoles. So the original NES minis coming out, the original Sega Genesis minis coming out. So that's going to be pretty cool. But with the future of gaming, all the different VR systems that are coming out for your cell phones to use, those are going to be intense. I'm actually looking into getting one for my Galaxy S6. So, Who knows
Now,
what's
see,
going to happen in the
I
next
gotta
5
say this
years?
right here.
One thing
I
I did
think
hear.
gaming consoles like Microsoft and PlayStation, I think they probably got a good at least 6 or 7 years left. I think we'll probably see one more generation of consoles get released. And after that, I think we're gonna start seeing like a more push on like live streaming video gaming, like on televisions and
Yep,
um
yep. You got the
Blu-ray devices,
Amazon.
stuff like that.
Yeah, the Amazon Fire TV Gaming Edition is out too. Doesn't have nearly as good of games as the PS3 or the PS4 or the Xbox One, but it does have some pretty cool games on it. Uh, Heck, my Kindle Fire TV Stick has games on it, and it's got some pretty good games. Uh, One thing that I have seen though is uh, they are getting close to holographics for some of these game consoles. So instead of just VR, we might end up with
Hmm.
holographic gaming systems. So it'll be interesting. We think,
I got
Yeah,
a question.
new Xbox Scorpio, that's gonna be on.
Yeah, we discussed at work when we got that new Xbox One S in. It seemed like somebody mentioned it seemed like just like we've been having like the smartphone wars for years between like iPhone and Samsung and all the others with the new phone coming out like every year or even sometimes like just a few months apart. Do you think we're going to be having like console wars, or are we already having console wars? Was
oh,
the
we've
new one coming out every year, bigger and better, and competing
We've
with
been
each
having
other?
that for years.
we've been having that for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, the
Yeah,
console wars have been going on since the
it
late '70s,
just
but with the how quickly technology has been changing, I think the release dates are going to come faster, but they might not release them as quickly as they'd like. Because I know like the Xbox systems, the Xbox 360 had the initial edition, and then it came out with that upgraded edition. It didn't really change much, but upgraded a few of the internals, not enough to create an entirely new system. They've been doing stuff like that for years.
it's all about the money.
Well, it's all about the money, but also considering how expensive these consoles are, they're not going to replace them every year. The only reason why cell phones are able to do that every year is due to the fact that the service providers subsidize the cost of the phone in your plan.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only that, but it's just this. I'm a little surprised that we've still gotten to this point and consoles aren't dead. To be perfectly honest with you, I mean, I know they're selling. I know they're still selling, but it always seemed like more feasible to me as phone growing and mobile gaming is growing, that would take over. That would be the new thing right there. It seems to me like you can make a killing. You put a good game out there on the phone, you can make a killing, and with these micro purchases or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, you got people. Look, I won't lie. I got a dang Avengers game I'm playing. I probably spent like $200 on that game total.
Well,
For a year.
that Flappy Bird game, the guy who made it was broke when he built it, and after what was it, 6 weeks, 99-cent download, he was a multi-millionaire. It's amazing.
Just think of what these major companies could do. Like that's why I'm so surprised also that Nintendo has not really jumped in. There's now inklings of them starting to do it, but they haven't really jumped into that market.
Yep, Sega
And
has a
could
few
really
out
make
on
it.
the Android marketplace, but not a lot, and they're not very popular.
Yeah.
But
y'all
they're
prefer the
primarily
consoles,
a
man.
console software system, so.
I can't play that game.
Yeah, like
that
I'm still
phone
rocking my
game, so.
PS3. I haven't even gotten to PS4 or anything else like that.
Yeah, I still have my original Xbox. I got the Halo Edition Xbox One. So, hey, I'm a Halo fanatic. Everybody already knows this. I've got the Halo Edition of every version of Xbox out there. So,
Nice. Halo's what got me into the shooting games.
Yep, Halo's the only
First
shooting game I play anymore. I stopped playing Call of Duty. I've stopped playing all the other ones because it's.
Man, you gotta play Gears of War, man.
I played Gears of War, and it just didn't appeal to me.
I heard
I like,
Battlefield was real good.
well, see, it's not to me. It's not really the gameplay that drew me into Halo. It was the backstory that came out after the first game. All the backstory that they have for the Halo universe, it's gotten pretty deep and intense. They're talking, where some of the stuff like metastability for Cortana is a possibility in Halo 6, which is basically meaning that Cortana, instead of being an artificial intelligence, she ends up becoming an artificial life form. So it's pretty intense, and it's based on actual science, which is pretty cool to me. All right, so we've discussed a little bit about the future of gaming. We know it's going to be intense in the future. We're all going to be broke for a long time thanks to these companies because they're going to constantly come out with something new. All right. So next up is the casting of Miss Marvel. Who else is excited about this?
I am.
Well, I didn't know who she was until y'all told.
I am. I like it. I like the casting. I've been on record faithfully as saying I wanted Emily Blunt to play Captain Marvel, but Brie Larson, the more I think of it now, I think this could be a really, really, really good casting. The look of her, she has an intense look about her, first of all. She does.
Yeah. Well,
and her face kind of matches it.
If you're seeing
she's going to do great.
The panel I have up, thank you, Justin, for the picture there. She's actually chilling out, reading Captain Marvel comics, dressed as Captain Marvel, just to get prepared for the role. She's taking it seriously. So,
yeah.
Yeah, well, she's an Oscar-winning actress, so.
Yeah, she's at least making sure that she does the part justice, and I am glad that she's taking that time. Just like Grant Gustin did for The Flash, he said that he wasn't a big comic book reader until he got the role as The Flash, and then he went out and read every Flash comic so that he could try to do the role justice. So I applaud Brie Larson for taking the time to research the character. I do got to say this. I am very happy with my panel for this one here because I actually found a comic book cover that says the new Ms. Marvel, and I've got Brie Larson off to the side. So I'm pretty stoked about it. All right. But anybody else's thoughts? Varden, I see you snuck back in again after your temporary disconnection. Same with you, Reese.
Yep.
All right. It looks like we lost Thor, though. So, all right. So what are you guys' thoughts?
I don't really know who she is, to be honest. Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, or the actress.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really knew who she was if they hadn't seen her in a movie before. To be honest, I have never seen any movie with her on there before. So,
Have you guys seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in that. She's the
won the Oscar a few months ago.
Yeah, as Justin said, she won an Oscar a few months ago, so she's definitely a good actress. I'm gonna have to bone up on her a little bit more. Okay, that was probably the bad wording there, but I'm gonna have to learn about her acting a little bit more.
But I mean, we're at the point right now where we really don't need to be we really don't even need to be speculating or critiquing any Marvel castings, to be honest. I mean, name for me the worst casting that Marvel has done.
Mandarin.
Oh, definitely.
Now, I'll say this about Mandarin. I get why you would say that, but it wasn't the Mandarin that
Well, yeah, the casting was perfect. It was the story that fucked.
Yeah, totally get that. but for the character that he was, that Ben Kingsley was awesome.
Yeah,
I
Ben
kind of want to
Kingsley's
see
dope.
more of him. He was awesome in it. He was awesome as what was his name, Trevor.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy who played the fake Mandarin did great. The guy who played, the actual Mandarin, I wasn't too thrilled with him.
I liked his character at the beginning though, or as him playing himself at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
If he would have came, and I really wish they would have went more with the aim. We did more with aim, but yeah, that kid, he was fine for that. But like for their major characters, I don't think they've missed. I don't think they've missed on anything so far. I don't.
No, I think they've done a really good job, and I think that's part of why they cast so far out, is so that way they can get these actors and actresses prepped to actually play the role right. So that's part of why I'm stoked for the Wonder Woman movie, because they cast Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman well in advance, gave her a small role in Batman versus Superman. I wouldn't call her role a major role. I'd say it was a minor role. And now she's got how much time to get really prepped and know the character that she's going to be acting. So,
see, with that right there, I think she is growing into the role really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, she does great as Wonder Woman. Her Diana Prince is not 100% there yet, because we didn't really get a good chance to see her as Diana Prince. So I have a feeling that by the time the Wonder Woman movie comes out, she's going to do a great job.
The only thing about I agree. The only thing I don't like is the accent, and it actually makes sense that Wonder Woman would have an accent, but at the same time, I could barely understand some of the stuff she was saying in that movie because of her accent. So that's kind of distracting for me. But other than that, she was fine.
And I have a feeling that she'll probably have a little bit less of an accent in the actual Wonder Woman movie. And she might have regained some of her accent after the Wonder Woman movie. She might have spent time not speaking English. That might be how they kind of explain it. But again, that's future. We're going a little off topic talking about Wonder Woman when we're supposed to be talking about Ms. Marvel, but there's not really a lot of information besides the fact that Brie Larson has been cast. So we'll move on to our final topic of the day. It's our character of the week, The Flash.
Grant Gustin. I think his name fits well for that actor too, like to be playing the Flash.
Yep. Now we're just going to talk about the character overall. What I am going to say though is I want to leave Ezra Miller's The Flash out of it for right now, because we didn't really get enough time to really get to know the character. So let's just focus on Barry Allen himself. Not Wally West Flash, not Jay Garrick, but just straight up Barry Allen Flash.
I love Barry Allen the Flash. The show is one of my favorites. I think it's the best show out of all the CW shows.
I would agree with you there. Even though I'm a bit biased towards Arrow, I do think the Flash has a lot better setup right now than even Arrow. And I hope some of the setup that they have for the Flash eventually slides over to the Arrow, because all the characters, all the people that he's taking on, suit his character. The Arrow's been trying to set up all these other shows since the end of season 2. So
true, I can agree with that.
I think it's about time that the Arrow gets back to what it does best. But back on topic, the Flash. Okay, so let's do a little pop quiz. Black Flash, what is Barry Allen's nephew's name?
I don't know. Terry Allen? I don't know. You're talking to the wrong guy as it pertains to Flash. I've never been a big Flash fan.
Well, is it Bart? Or no?
Bart is his grandson.
Oh, yeah, Bart's the grandson. It's Wally. We're talking about Wally.
Wally West. The same guy that that got you your Black Flash nickname, which I mentioned at the beginning of the show there, Black Flash.
What?
I gave you the answer.
We're talking about Black Wally or White Wally? Or?
Both are his nephew.
Oh, and they're both named Wally?
Yep. At least according to Rebirth.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know, it gets confusing.
I read that the Flashpoint's not going to be like the whole season of the new one, that it's going to be just like a couple of episodes in, and then they're going to go ahead and go out of it.
Yeah, yep. I wouldn't want to see the Flashpoint be a full season, because without the other shows being extremely affected by Flashpoint and the Flash, it would make no sense as far as the larger universe. Now, the Arrow has said that they are affected by the Flashpoint in the Flash, but not nearly as much as people would expect. So,
which is good. It's good because it'd be bending to the Flash's show a lot more than Arrow doing its own thing.
Yep. Now they do have to show that the Arrow is affected, so that's a good thing. But again, we're going off topic and focusing on the TV show instead of just the character. So, Thor, name one thing about the Flash that you do know for a fact.
That I know for a fact.
Yep.
Just one thing, probably he's the fastest man alive, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can't touch him. Superman, Reverse Flash, Barry Allen always seemed to push his limits. Like he always tests to see how far his speed can go. That's one how he found out about the Speed Force and about the ability to travel through time and everything, because he was kept testing and pushing his limits to see how far he really can and how fast he really can go.
Yep. But one thing you said that he found out about the Speed Force, he actually created the Speed Force. So that's kind of where we're at there. Because with Barry Allen, he's actually the creator of the Speed Force in the comic universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is the Speed Force, right?
Yes, he is. He actually was also the lightning that gave him super speed. He's literally his own causal loop.
That's why I've never been able to get into Flash. It's just the dynamics behind Flash are so freaking confusing. It's not even funny.
You got the first Flash, which is Jay Garrick. He gets a Speed Force. He gets tuned into the Speed Force, and turns out the Speed Force isn't created until Barry Allen becomes the Flash.
So what did he tune into then? Because it wasn't the Speed Force if the Speed Force wasn't created until after Jay Garrick.
The thing, though, that you got to realize about the Speed Force is the Speed Force is outside of time, so it can be created after it's already been in use.
God.
Boom. Mind blown.
I'm gonna have to sit down with you, Corey, for about 4 or 5 hours one day, and you just break this down. You break this down.
Time travel is one of my passions. So anytime there's a show that has any sort of time travel, I watch it, I read it, and I research up on the possibilities of whether or not it is actually possible. This is going way off topic, but Star Trek, they actually have a division of Starfleet called the Department of Temporal Investigations, which actually they use real life scientific theories in the book series to explain some of the stuff that you saw in Star Trek. It really helped me out when I started reading through some of the old school Flash comics. So Black Flash, I will give you the name of those two books, read them, and then you'll probably understand a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right, back on topic. Reese, you pointed something out just a moment ago here via message. I'll let you share it out to the group here in the chat.
Well, apparently, a wizard from a different dimension named Mopey gave Flash and loads of other superheroes their powers because he felt like it.
Okay.
Come out that one with the hat.
Is that part of the New 52, or is that part of, might be part of an alternate universe of the comic sections, or what?
Is that the little guy?
No, this was
that had a
Earth
hat
1.
on?
Yeah.
I just love how you said that though, like how you presented it, because he felt like it.
Oh, no, he's from the 60s.
Yes, and Reese calling the old comics
He was
messed
around
up.
for 20
Yeah,
years.
there was no continuity in the old Golden Age comics. The continuity was not really there. I know one thing that always stands out in my mind is right after Barry Allen got the powers of the Flash, he chose the name the Flash because he used to read comic books with Jay Garrick as the Flash. So the golden age of comics for the Flash.
And that Mopey also gave Spider-Man his powers.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of continuity errors, especially when we go far enough back into the golden age of comics, where the origin of how they got their powers is royally messed up. Based upon, from New 52 on, pretty much. I like the idea that it's a causal loop that Barry Allen created his own powers. It just makes more sense to me than having a wizard from an alternate dimension. But then again, I'm a scientist at heart.
But see, Barry was at his best in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yep. And even though the picture that we're showing here has Barry Allen as the Flash, one thing to point out is, even though he's been the face of the Flash in the 2010s, to me the Flash will always be John Wesley Shipp from the 90s series. He was the definitive Flash to me, and I'm glad that they brought him into the TV show. Okay, Black Flash. Sounds like you got kids running around on you. Taking over my spot this week, or what?
Yeah. And you gotta have kids on the podcast. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, it's I think that's kind of the defining thing of our podcast is having one random kid either say something or jump up on somebody's lap.
Right.
But it shows how diverse our group is. Not all of us are, no offense, Reese, but still kids ourselves. Some of us are adults and parents, and the fact that we're all getting along and talking about it, crossing the generational gap. All right, but one thing I do want to say is definitely with John Wesley Shipp being on the new Flash show, I think it was awesome that they paid homage to him being the original Flash for TV by making him the actual Jay Garrick. Anybody else like that idea? Like that?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show at all, but when I saw that he was going to be on it and whatever, that was like the very first thing that popped in my head was like, oh yeah, he's going to be Jay Garrick. It kind of fit.
They hid the fact that it was going to be him being the real Jay Garrick for a long time. The whole, pretty much all season 2. They had the man in the mask the whole time, and yeah, they threw in random actors into the mask just to throw everybody off. At one point, I think they had a black guy in there instead of a really light-skinned black guy, but yeah, they had somebody in there. It was weird, every time he was a little bit different in height and shape, and it was like, there's no continuity.
No.
All right. So I think that's about all the time we have this week. We've actually gone a bit long this week due to our talking about Suicide Squad. We're going to do one final round. I want everybody to. All right, the final go around. What do you think is going to happen within the next week as far as it goes for the Geek world? We're going to start off with the man with the children.
Hey, wait, what? I didn't even hear the question. I'm sorry.
Okay, so for the next week, what do you think is going to happen in the Geek world? Is anything cool going to happen, or is it just going to stay kind of normal?
In the next week?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really have any idea of what's coming up here in the next week. I haven't even been back to damn comic shop in about 3 weeks, so I still gotta get some damn comics and see what the hell's going on. But
Okay. So, all right. Next up will be Mr. Justin. Are you still with us, my friend? All right. So.
We don't have a whole lot of geeky-ish movies to look forward to. The next comic book movie is Doctor Strange in November. So for the next week, I don't know if much else is going to happen. I don't know. Suicide Squad might break another record. Maybe.
Which record?
I don't know.
That's about
it. I think everything's dying down now, and I'm not sure if much else is going to happen. Doesn't seem like it right now.
All right. Next up will be our guest of the week, James. What do you think is going to happen in the next week? Oh, looks like we lost James. All right. Well, since we have lost James, we're going to drop over to one of the 4 producers on the show, and that'll be Mr. Reese. What do you think is going to happen for the next week?
Probably nothing, to be honest. I don't know. Like I said, everything's died down, really, so...
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know, probably nothing.
All right. Well, we'll finally roll around to Mr. Vartan. So what do you think is going to happen
So I
next
think
week?
they'll drop some cool Doctor Strange news, like some what Mads Mikkelsen is gonna play as a villain, and I think TV spot, yeah, one TV spot about Doctor Strange. That's all. I think it will be the big news next week.
Okay. Well, Thor, you're up.
Yeah.
I think pretty much my goal will become self-aware and try to take over the world.
All right. Well, this will be my last show for 2 weeks. So the producers that are on the show, it's up to you, boys. That's to me is going to be the big news for the next 2 weeks. I won't be here, so no moderating, no joining the podcast. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks without me on the show, I think, and I can't wait to get back and watch them both. So, well, thank you everybody for joining us here with the breakdown by the Geek Fam, and get out there, read some comics, watch some movies, and just get out and share the geek lifestyle. Have a great day.